Okay, getting ready to install the Innovative Sportsman angled inflatable kayak mount, Torqeedo mount. What I've discovered in doing it is I need to put a different bolt in the back one, so I'm going to go ahead and install this switchblade mount back. And I put it back. I took it off for a second. And just kind of make it semi-tight. I think the trick is not too tight. Remember these things, this inflatable kayak expands and contracts, so you got to keep that in consideration when you're tightening bolts down and stuff. Better put my hat on, I'm having a bad hair day. So it's like an everyday for me. So now let's go ahead and mount these screws onto the front. I'm gonna get this and get the washers. Okay, go ahead, get this side started. Go ahead and get this side started. Be a little contrary because you gotta get it down in that slot, and it's not as easy as you think. There we go. Let's see. And this there's a piece of, there's a rubber, I don't know, let's say nipple, I guess, on the bottom of that. And it's kind of hard to run it over top of that. It's gonna be contrary, I can tell you. No, I should sit this. Maybe cut that. Nothing like a little pounding seems to fix everything. Yeah. So I think that's gonna hold that in there fine. Go ahead and get one of those nuts. I've got a fair amount of YakAttack kayak parts. I'd recommend to buy a couple extra bolts, a couple extra nuts when you're doing this kind of rigging. It just seems like you never have enough. Let's say this one came with that different bolt, but I ended up deciding I need to use a bolt that I had on hand. I'm going to go ahead and use this wing nut, the YakAttack wing nut. Guess we'll see. dismount it. I'm probably going to cut that bolt off once I figure out what we need to do with the motor. And I'll tighten these up last. I got this semi-tight, but I'm definitely going to cut that off. I think it's going to get in the way. But let's see. Yeah, even this wing nut's going to get in the way, so I might need to use a different nut. So, how about I do need to use a different nut? So I'll have to use one of these smaller profile nuts. Okay, that's what I say. Fortunately, I've got extra, so I would recommend anytime you're mounting or rigging stuff to track, buy different parts. You can't really go wrong by doing that. This nut is not as wide on the base. Problem with this nut, it's plastic threads, which I don't like as well, where this nut has an embed, brass embed inside of it. Plastic thread strip, as you know. I mean, any thread can strip, but plastic seems to do it a lot easier. There we go. Getting that on there. Now we'll see. We'll line this motor up. I really don't know. If you don't have a dead center, I'm really not sure how much a big difference it would make. I mean, but you're using foot pedals. Wouldn't think it would make that big of a difference, but who knows? I guess I'll find out. Okay, now that works. That definitely works, and probably I may not have to cut that bolt off, and I'm not going to if I don't have to. So, but that's going to clear fine. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this on. And let's get it. Yeah. I'm gonna snug this down. I said I wasn't going to, but I am. Looks like it's pretty. Snug it down just a little bit. Put some of these screws away. Get them mixed up with the other ones that I have. Hopefully you guys can see okay. I'm just taking the screws that Innovative Sportsman sent with the adapter plate. I'll put a, also just to share with you guys, I'll add links to the parts that I've used to the video. Just so it'll make it easier for you to locate the parts. It's exciting times to be able to mount a motor that you've been wanting to have for so long. I've been wanting to put a motor on this kayak. This kayak is, it's just an amazing kayak. I want to make sure I don't strip these threads. It looks like this plastic nut is hitting a little bit. Let's see if I can pound it. Nothing like a hammer, rubber mallet, pound it that way a little bit, maybe just a little bit. But as I look down through here, I can see that the now taking the threads, it's not dead center. I don't know if I like that. I could take the slither off of this. I decided to go ahead and take the nut off here, and I'm just going to cut. I'm going to put it in a vise and go ahead and cut both sides off on the vise. It'll be a lot easier than trying to cut it, and I won't scratch up this plate. So, excuse my mess of tools everywhere. See if I can get in this vise. Cut a little bit of this off. Should work. I don't know. Gotta get my hacksaw. There's my hacksaw. Put that off. There we go. Do this other side. Well, let's try again. Guess this is what they call, why they call it DIY-ing, huh? Seems like nothing ever wants to fit. So, now I can probably finish it with the knife. Now, that should be a lot better. Yeah, it's a lot better. Take a file. Not the edge, make sure edges off. But okay, here we go. I'm tired of messing around with this thing. Should have did that in the first place. Okay. Let's get this mount on here. And get this motor on here. I think I'm gonna have to slide my track down a little bit. For my foot controls, steering. There we go. Take that around to the side. Get good there. Start mounting this. I don't know if you guys can see down in there. Pretty dark, but now I'm lined up nice. Just a little bit of trimming right there. See now how that was hitting that. Hopefully you can right here on this. That nut was hitting it. Okay. I'm gonna go get some Loctite. Okay. What do they call it? Thread lock. Put that on here for sure. Let's see here what I got. Let's I got washer, lock washer. Some Loctite. This is like a semi-permanent thread lock. Put a little dab of that blue on there. Line it up with the threads. Take your time, make sure I'm not going to cross thread anything. Maybe I'll try the one here closer to me. Okay, got it started. Just snug it down a little bit. Now, put one of the back ones in. Almost forgot to put my thread lock on there. Again, take your time, make sure you get the thread started. Yep. Allen wrench. Pretty much centered out. Looks like I'm good. Could snug it up. Anytime I bolt something down, I always try to go across from one point to the other on an angle. I don't know. I don't know that it really matters in this scenario, but okay, I located one. I just need a washer. Yeah, it's always nice to have some extra hardware laying around, and I just happen to have stainless steel washers. That's from working on these boats. So lucky to have that available. I just need a block washer. And there's a lock washer. Okay, get the lock tight. Okay. Throw it down through there so you can get it. That mounts that on there. I'm gonna go across all of them. Little snugs. Don't want to strip it. This one needs definitely tighten down. Okay. Okay, now we have to get the motor prepared for installation. So this bottom piece kind of comes loose. Well, it does come loose. And this middle piece has to press over this. I'm going to press it down real hard. Meanwhile, the piece here, my thumb's on, has to press down and tighten with an Allen key. So bear with me as I get an Allen key or an Allen wrench. You might not be able to see this very well, but I'm going to press this down as tight as I can, and it's pretty tough to seat. Gonna need to get a wrench. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Just use this crescent wrench. A little big for the job, but I don't think it'll matter. See if this is seated. Use a rubber mallet. See if we can seat it a little bit better. Get it tight. Seems like it's pretty tight. Gasket. I think it has to be waterproof, but I'm going to go ahead and put I think that's tight enough. So the next step is taking the power cord up through, and then taking the shaft of the motor up through very carefully. Okay. May need to get help. I think I'm gonna need to spin this around. Okay, so the next step is running the cable up through. We gotta run it up through this attachment. Whoops, get that motor, Win. Get that motor. Take the motor up through that hole, up through the shaft here. Bring it up. Okay, turn the motor to where it's going the right direction. The other way, huh? Flip it. Okay. Motor's going that way. Okay. Okay, so that's what we need, like that. Okay. So now I gotta just tighten down this swing nut. Now this looks like it's gonna go ahead and slide that motor down some, honey, to get it underneath this piece. See this? Keep going. There you go. Is it crooked? Oh. I don't know how that works. Okay, at least to get the motor mounted. See if that's gonna. Go ahead, put it down. Okay, everyone, so got the motor mounted. You can see this wing in the plastic, and I was curious what those two little screws were, but they actually stop your motor from spinning all the way around, which was good. But it's not too bad to attach, and these just have these kind of turning sit screws that you adjust, like it's kind of like what you would when you change a tire on a bicycle, similar to that, on a 10-speed or something like that. You have to remove your tire. It's a quick bolt. So got that. Now I think, dude, because I'm 6'4" tall, so I think what I'm gonna need for this is I'm probably gonna have to push this out, but I guess I can try it and see. Maybe leave it as is and see if this is long enough. It may be with an attachment point here and here, so I'm going to try to install it there and go from there, I guess. And I'll have to remove that quick bolt. And the other thing I want to do is this cord. I'm going to slide this in there. And this is what that paracord, the foot control steering, the paracord looks like. It goes into this tubing. Well, I'm gonna tunnel that into this cavity here and run it all the way out, and then come up to here to anchor it onto this, I guess, right here. So maybe that is the limit I can have. Although that knot would slide back in there, so that'd probably be fine right there. So let's see, let's get the 90s, 90 degree, the YakAttack 90s, Mighty 90s or something like that I purchased. And get these mounted. Ninety degree adapter is what I've got. And imagine that's gonna go in there like that. That's gonna go like that. Okay, so I've changed my mind. I've decided I'm gonna push this out as far as I can, which means I'm gonna have to slide these tracks down. Now you can see the tracks. I've actually installed, as you can tell, installed these tracks earlier, and I've tried to explain. I'll explain where I got them and everything. I got them from Grainger. They're 30 millimeter track. It's made for like garage storage, building shelves, stuff like that, but it works great. The YakAttack fittings all connect to it fine, and it's fairly inexpensive. It's in stock, and if you're gonna add a lot of track to an inflatable, I mean, no one actually makes track, you know, actually kayak, where you go online and you say, I want to find a long track. I think YakAttack family has come out with something, maybe it's 24, 36 inches, but if you want something 6-8 feet, you're gonna have to buy the Grainger track and cut it, and it works great. And all these fittings, you can see the L bracket, everything is right there in stock in Grainger. And I'm gonna go ahead and look at this and see how I've got it fit up. All these fittings here are in stock. I'm gonna have to loosen them and then slide my track, and I want to slide everything forward, so I'll have to do the same thing. Maybe I should, but I want to slide everything forward and probably push this back as far as I can. But I think if I can get this, the end of this track right here out to the center, and that gives me a lot more flexibility. And then who knows, maybe I need to move them back, but they're not too bad to move. There's a couple Allen set heads there, bolts. And then as far as this angle to attach it, you can't cover up, you don't want to cover up the place where you actually add air to your tubes here. So I just got 1/4 inch, 1/4 by 4 inch angle, and cut it, and ground it down on the ends. And as you can see, I even drilled in the wrong location, but figure out what length I need on this side and length on this side to mount it, and it offsets it inside. It works great. So I wish I had done a video on that for everybody, but it's pretty straightforward, and I can send some pictures if anybody wants any photos or a parts list. Okay, so I'm gonna mount these Mighty 90 degree adapters, YakAttack 90 degree adapters. I had to look at it. And I'm gonna have to cut these bolts off because you can see the track there. It needs to slide all the way through. So I'm gonna mark it, and And that should be enough. And then I'll measure it, and I gotta cut all 4 bolts with a hacksaw. And that's where you need a vise or someone to hold a pair of pliers for you. It's always nice and handy to have. So I'm gonna use my vise. There are tools everywhere. Typical shop project, right? Okay. And I don't know, maybe I should cut them all, but I'm going to cut this one and check it. Excuse me. Okay. On the mark. Now I gotta find it. There it is. Nope, this is not. Where'd it go? There it goes. And typically you get a piece of rough thread on there. I always take a pair of pliers and just grab the end of it and kind of pull it off like that. And that should work perfect. Okay, so now let's see if we can get this thing to work. Gonna get the 90-degree adapter. This, I guess. Okay, put it in there. I've fortunately got some nuts and washers from another project. Otherwise, I'd be running to Home Depot or Lowe's to get these 1/4-inch bolts, nuts. So I'll tell you, it's just, I don't know. I don't know that I could give you a material list. Just seems like I can't even get, I don't even know what material I need. I'm doing the project, you know. But I'll do my best. Oops. Let's try to start it on here first. There we go. So it's good to get this thread started first. And then, now let's try again. Washer. I'm going to need a socket or ratchet for this. A little bit of thread there. I could cut it. Let's just see if it slides through there. Yep. Barely. It slides through there. Doesn't grab too many threads, does it? And this could slide forward, front, back. Go ahead and use these. Don't think I got enough of these bolts. Probably too long. Need another short one. Okay, gonna slide this in the end of the track. Same thing. Slide this on the end of the track. Okay, there we go. Let me get the tighten that bad boy down. Tighten that down good. That's gonna be my foot controls. Okay. Where is my foot control? There it is. I've got the angle. You can see there, it's got an angle on it. Hopefully you can see that, but it's got an angle on it. That's an upgrade. And I could always get the other type of screws too. Maybe get a track screw in there if that really grinds too much. It don't look like it's going to. Don't look like it's going to hang out. So that'll be nice. I don't know. Let's see how long my legs are. And I could probably slide this back. But you can see that doesn't move much. And when I put that crossbar across there, that's really going to make a big difference. And I can probably put it right where it was. Well, no, not really. So I got to find, talking to myself, but I got to find where my feet control are and then put the crossbar across there. And I can still put something here if I want to put camera mount or something like that there. Okay. Okay, everyone, catch you up. I've actually slid the tracks forward. I've got my foot control pedals installed. Now I'm going to go ahead and start installing the actual throttle, the Torqeedo throttle or controller. And first thing I'm going to do before I connect the cord to it is put a little dielectric grease on it. Get something to cut this off here. Get tools everywhere. Let's see. There we go. That should do it. And got the controller head here. Yeah, no. I don't think it'll hurt anything. So, no one told me to do this, so I would say do it if no instructions told me to do that, so I would say take it, do it at your own risk. I figured it couldn't hurt. And now I'm going to try to push this down in there. Looks like it goes down in here. I really don't read instructions very well, so, or don't take the time to read them. Let me put that way. Yep, seems like it's attaching. Okay, I guess that goes like this. Some screws. I would think there's a cover piece for that I've neglected to see over here. But I don't believe there is. So, but there's some screws here that I got in a bag with the so imagine that's what we're gonna do to attach this. I just feel like there should be something on the bottom of that, but a cover or something, but I don't see anything. So I'm assuming that they're saying that this is fine like this. Maybe I'll take the whole damn thing off. I don't know. Never hurts to get rid of some stuff. Get it out of your way. See you probably can't see it, but I can see the thread, the holes here. Looks like it's working. Now I'm left-handed, so I'm putting this throttle on my right side. I figure I'm going to be doing a lot of casting. So I've got my anchor wizard and this throttle will be on this side. It seemed to work good for me on the anchor wizard part of the installation. I actually had it installed on that other opposite side originally. Didn't work out very well. As you can see, I moved it. I'm looking for a Phillips screwdriver. Yes, I've got one here. There we go. I'm so excited to take this out on a maiden voyage with the motor. And it sounds like I'm going to do probably Greenbrier State Park. I don't want to take it on the river right away. I'm a little, let's say, gun shy with that. I want to kind of get the feel for it. So, first, and then this is my speed control. Got a kill switch for it. Let's see. This goes in here. God darn it. Well, I lost a spring. Don't bend down as easy as I used to. I'm getting a little older. So, let's see. I don't know. I feel like I guess this is going like this. As tall as I am, I'm assuming I'll probably have it like that. And I'm gonna anchor that down. I love this. Yeah, the YakAttack parts are just great. If you haven't used anything from YakAttack, and their customer service is spectacular, I suggest. It's expensive, but it works really well. I mean, you really can't. It's kind of hard to DIY a kayak without their innovation and creativity and everything else that they do for the industry. Just great products. Now, just to get the battery back here, I don't know if the thing's charged or not. I guess when it's blinking, it's fully charged. Been charging all day. Be curious to see this thing operate. At least I'm curious to see it operate. So the nice thing about this battery, I mean, you can strap it down. It'll go right here. Probably may sit up like this pretty well between my track. I don't know. I don't know if it'll get in my back, but it could sit up pretty well like that. Just be careful not to cross thread. Obviously these threads, I don't know how, they're replaceable. Don't want to try to test that out for sure. You got an an arrow. Yeah, it goes. And maybe I need to just buy 2 more pieces of track when it's all said and done, and spend a little bit more money and buy another 2 full lengths. I think these come in 12 foot, but buy 2 full lengths, and then I can cut it and get it back to here. And I've got track all the way up and down the side of my kayak. It doesn't really add much weight, and plus I'm adding this motor and everything. So I'm probably going to add a boondocks across here. So we'll see. We'll see how much I need. But that's what I may end up doing is adding the track, the whole length of the kayak. So let's see. Let's just see if this thing will crank up. And I think I'm going to need this kill switch. Probably. Huh. That is cool and very quiet. You see that motor is just so quiet. Definitely, I have an XI3, and let me turn the music down. You can see how quiet that is. Okay, now I'm going to start installing the cables, the steering cables. I went ahead and drilled a hole in the cap that's going to go. You can see on the other side here where I drill the hole. The cap will go in first. They're made right for this track. Same thing, you get them on Amazon or at Granger. I don't know, maybe I might have to. I think I had to get them at Amazon. Then I bought this material that's kind of made to fill in the track, and I'm going to snake it down through here, and I'm using it as a conduit for the cable, for the steering cable. I cut it 8-inch pieces, and what it does is it just presses. It has a bevel there, and it's just made to just press into this channel. So it's pretty easy to use. Well, I already did the other side, so I press that in, go down, find the cable, get tape measure in the way. Okay, Just leave some space. I'm not measuring it exactly. Just leave some space out. I cut 4 of these. I guess we'll see. This is something that I thought up of on my own. So I guess we'll see how well it works when I take it out in the water, if it ends up pulling out of this channel or not. You can pull them back out. I might take this off of here now. Just get this out of my way. Anchor wizard out of my way. One more here. You can see about where I got it over there. Let's see where I have the cable looped through the foot control steering. And that should work pretty good. Now, when you put your, you're going to want to tie it about the same place for both sides. So you're going to need to have someone hold the motor. And that's where my wife comes in. But I'm going to go ahead and do like 4 blocks. And I want this in the center of the steering track, around about in the center. That way when I push with my left and right foot, I have movement. So I'm going to use 4 of these blocks right here and tie that on. That should be close enough. Okay, so I'm going to tie this, do several twists. I don't know, 6, 7 twists around the cables. I'm doing it the wrong way, actually. Sorry. Start over. I want to tape the cable around from the bottom, I guess, up towards the attachment piece here. So I'm going to go like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of tighten it up. And then take it back through. I'm not going to cut it. Because I want to make sure it's right before I do. So I'm going to just take it out and try it first. Seems too long. Yeah, that's too long. Back it off. Try again. Let me go out to 6 while I'm doing this. Now let's get this thing twisted around itself. Doing about 6 times. I think that's good enough. Don't matter. It have to be exact. Then I'm going to come back up through Slide the knot up. Now that put me at 4, so. Okay, so that put me at 4, so I'm gonna go 6. Let me go back over here. Low and in. We'll see what, hi to the camera.
Hello.
So, one of these 6 square blocks. Same thing, I got a lot of extra cable here now. A lot of extra. Get the slack out, honey.
Yeah. This one's kind of droopy.
That's alright, it's gonna be droopy. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm straight.
You had it straight?
Yeah.
Okay, well this one's tight now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 6. Gonna do the same thing. I got a whole bunch of extra cable, so I'm just gonna have to wind it through. Afraid to cut anything. Guess this stuff's, I don't believe it's something you can buy at the Ace Hardware. I have to get it from Innovative Sportsman. Some type of rope, but it kind of feels like a cable too. I mean, it's definitely a rope. It's interesting. Gonna take that through. Now I'm gonna slide that up. Won't go too tight, I guess. Okay. Okay, let me see it. Okay, that's steering. So the steering's finished other than making adjustments. Cutting this extra line off. That's done. So the next part is going to be installing the motor lift. And it seemed like that held up all right. I think I'm going to need to put something here, but guess we'll see how it does. Maybe you can put a piece of tape over it is all I need. Okay. So now we get the motor lift. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down. And that's going to require a carabiner here at the top. And then the rope. Got some rope here. This is always hard to get untangled, it seems like. Not too bad. Okay. And I think we need to tie this on. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. Looks like you can. Let's loop this back. That's gonna go. Let's see. It actually goes through here. Through here. This goes through here. And then we're going to tie a nice knot on that. on. Pull it tight. So that's going to lift the motor. Okay. Seems to be working. Okay. That's going to go through. I'm going to go ahead and put one of these YakAttack loops in there, wherever I got them. Huh. I don't know what this is. So we got these tie down eyelets, and go ahead and mount one of those on here, and let's see. So it goes like that. And I may end up having to notch this side rail out in order to mount stuff, because I don't have a way to slide anything down there. But I guess I could go on the inside rail, but I've got the cable in there, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see if it works. I have to get this out of the way temporarily. Slide that up. Slide that down. This is a homemade notch that I put in the track. It's kind of butchered up, but hey, it works. Let's slide this back. See what works. Okay. Got an extra part here. No, I probably don't want it like that. Okay. So this is going to slide extra rope. We got a ton of extra rope. I'm gonna need it for my reverse. Gotta do the same thing on the other side for the motor going into reverse. The XI3, the bow mount motor, is a lot easier to install. I don't know. I guess he had all electrical to do, so I had all that to do. Okay. I almost need another one of these here. Take that around the other way. It's gonna go up through here. Should give me the leverage to lift that motor pretty easily. So, got your cleats. Okay, so that lifts it. Now how do I let it down? We'll figure that out. There we go. So lift up and out. So I think I'm gonna end up probably having to slide that up a little bit. And slide that up just a little bit. Let's get more leverage on a seated position. Okay, and then let's see if I can get a handle for this. Okay, so I guess I'm going to use this part that came with it. Easier too. Just that little twist there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. Get myself some give myself a foot or two. Take that up through here. Go ahead and tie a knot in it. Why? It's still fine. I don't think it's gonna fall off the. Okay, so now let's install the. Now we're gonna install the actual. That's carabiner 2. And you use the rest of the rope to install that. Can you give me that rope, honey, laying on the floor? Thank you. Huh? See if that holds. Should go like that. Should make the same bracket. This one's going to go on this side. Let's say I might want to use one of those. This piece, and this cleat here. Okay, I'm gonna put this eyelet here just to redirect this cable or this rope. I'll put my handy dandy cap back in there. And I'll end up probably gluing them in. Once I make sure everything's where it needs to be. Let me route this through here now. Okay. I'm going to tie this knot. Get this thing. That's probably good enough. Okay. Gets that, redirects that. Okay, now I'm going to do for the back of the motor is a reverse. This actually latches and it allows it, keeps it from raising up. So when you go into reverse, I guess it throws the motor up. So that's going to actually go on this side. And I'm going to use some more of these tie down eyelets. Outlets and the rope through there. Take my cap off here. It's gonna go like that. It's gonna go like that. I might just screw it on here. There we go. There we go. Get this snug. That's gonna go from there. Through here. Oh. See how that rope latches on there? Pretty nifty, huh? Okay. Go ahead and run that through here, through here. This is going to be clamped down. This is going to give me the same thing. I'm going to put that in here. And I may want to go ahead and install some of my parts. before I get myself trapped in. Let's see. Let's get down here for my. Let's get on top of this. And maybe they can go back behind it. I don't know. So this goes on here. Let's see, I'm gonna be interesting trying this out. See if I get to move stuff, because I have a feeling I will. Okay, now we're gonna attach our reverse lock. And I'm just gonna use this cleat here to do that. Now I hope that doesn't cause problems, but I do like, if I'm gonna lock it, I wanna lock it. And then I wanna raise it up. So I'm gonna put that here, and basically I just need a couple of these small screws. Let's see, I got parts everywhere. As you could go ahead and put that through here. Okay, so mount that in there, slide that down in there. Now, put that right there, I guess. Is that? And then I'm going to take this, should be a black round ball right here. Can go here. There's that. Should be able to cut that off. I think I'm good to go there. Okay, everyone. So I'm on the final stages of the Torqeedo 1103 3 horsepower motor onto my NRS KUDA, and hopefully within about an hour I'll be done, and I'm going to mount my fish finder Mega 360, and then I'm going to go check and test everything out, and I'm sure I'll have to make adjustments to take some tools with me. But it's a mess right now, but once I clean it up, I'll share it with you guys and kind of go back over the whole install.